All right, it's Janine Wolf here, and we're here with Tamron Hall.
Hi,
I'm
Janine.
honored to be here with you today.
Oh, thank you.
You have a new syndicated talk show coming up, premieres September 9th,
Yes.
called
The Tamron Hall Show.
Why Not? It's your name.
It is.
You know, it's so nice to have you here in Portland.
Thank
and
you.
know, I was just telling you that I'm part of a morning show here, K103 Radio.
Yes.
And with Bruce, John, and Janine, and that's
Hey, Bruce
me.
and John.
Yeah, so they're excited that I got to come here too. Before we get started about your new show, though, a couple of things.
Yeah.
A lot's happened in the last 2.5 years.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah. So number one, newlywed.
Yeah.
You met your husband.
Yes, I did.
And brand new baby. And I mean, brand new baby.
Yeah, he's 3 months old. 24th. He's 3 months now.
Just exactly 3 months today.
Yes, today.
And how is Moses doing?
He's doing great. I keep looking at my phone. My mother is with him in New York while I'm here, and she keeps sending me video and pictures, and he's awesome. He actually, every time I feel guilty about being on the road or, doing this tour, and of course I have that guilt as any person, I think, or any mom or dad would when you're working and you have your child, and I'll get a video of him and he's just cracking up and he's just laughing, and in my mind, I think he's saying, go mom, do it mom, you got this, and look, I'm okay here while you're doing this. So it's working out well.
Well, you left him happy. So
I hope
he's
so.
Still happy.
I left him full of milk, so that means he's happy.
Oh, good. Well, how do you balance, I know this is the question, the type of career you have is so busy. I mean, here you are on the road promoting your new show.
Yeah.
How do you balance being a brand new mom with a brand new little baby?
There is no balance. I'm doing the best I can, just like my mom did when she was a 19-year-old single mom. And my grandfather, as I've shared, was a man who had a second-grade education. He was a sharecropper. Someone asked me the other day, are you afraid? And I said, no, because I'm not going to set my expectations for failure, meaning there's no perfection here. There is no balance. I wish I could, Janine, say, let me give you this, flowery answer that will sound so good and you will be able to tweet it out. But I would be lying to you and to me. There's no balance here. There are some days I go home and I'm super exhausted, but I pull it together because I want to for my baby and for my husband and for myself. And then there are other days I look at my husband and I say, I can't move. I really can't move. He's like, lay in the bed. I got this.
Good.
And I'm panicked. I'm like, and my poor baby the other day, his diaper was on reverse. I'm like, Stephen, it's 2019. You have to know how to put on it. And we've had him now for 3 months. But I'm just making sure I don't search for these tidy answers that set an expectation for myself and then mean I'm lying to people like you or fans of the show when I say, 5 steps to balance, and I go home and I crumble into a ball. That's just not what I'm going to do with myself or with the show. If it's not tidy, it's not tidy.
Well, it sounds like those diapers weren't too tidy the other day.
But he was still cute in it,
But
in reverse.
Thank goodness your mom is helping.
I have a nanny too. I mean, listen,
good.
I was in Vegas promoting the show with my executive producer, Bill Getty, and I had this moment where, and my show is all about like taking off these masks and being ourselves. I mean, how do you have a real conversation? If I'm pretending with you and you're pretending with me, how are we ever going to have a real connection? We're both being phony. So I sat there one morning and I said, Bill, I have to admit I have a nanny. I don't want people looking at me thinking, oh my God, look at her. She's got it all together. And by the way, there's a woman who is helping me care for my child, and to pretend she doesn't exist is being, to me, disrespectful and phony of her. I mean, it's her job,
Absolutely.
but she's there helping me raise my son. My mom is 1,500 something miles away. I wish that, I had that same upbringing that I wish Moses had the same upbringing that I did, where my mom would call my aunt who lived, a couple of blocks away, or my grandfather, but I don't live near any of my family members. So the alternative is to have someone come into my home and help me that I treat like a family member and that treats my son the same. So for me, one day I said, I have to admit it, I can't. Then I thought all of these other like well-known moms who don't admit it, I didn't want them to feel bad, but I had to tell my truth. And I think that it was like liberating. So when people are like, where's Moses? I'm like, he's with his nanny. And no one has said, oh God, look at her, she's got a nanny. So it's just being myself and offering that in every form that I can with this show.
Let's talk about the show too.
Yes.
What are you most excited about? And give us a little insight into what the format or what you're planning to do.
Listen, I'm most excited to be back on what I'm supposed to be doing.
And so are we.
Yeah, thank you. I've been in TV since I was 18, and this is the longest work break I've had in my life. I started working when I was 14. So
Wow.
basically, I have a dog and a bird before I had Moses. And they're both like, go, 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 get out. The dog is like, and here's your bag, leave. The bird's like, and bye-bye, Tamron Hall, go to work. So I'm happy to be back at work. I'm happy to be connecting with people, talking to people like yourself. The fact that we will have a studio audience is thrilling. When I was at the Today Show, the most fun I would have in that day was when we go outside on the plaza.
Yep.
And you could actually talk to people. So I am excited about that. The show, it's not a secret formula. It's not a mystery. The bottom line is we're doing a traditional daytime talk show, from the years of Phil Donahue to the great years of Oprah Winfrey, from Mike Douglas, Merv Griffin. I watched all of those shows.
Okay.
So when I went in to talk with the team about the concept, you know, everyone instantly thought, oh, she's going to talk about Oprah. But I'm like, are you kidding? Mike Douglas, Merv, I mean, when Yoko and John filled in, I mean, that was magical TV to me. When I watched, you know, Ali and Sly and, you know, Sly and the Family Stone, they were on an actual show together.
Yes.
So that's my TV upbringing. And when you look at daytime today, it's all very fun. I love Ellen and the variety and the games and the music. And it's very entertaining, but talk show in its truest form doesn't exist right now in daytime. So we saw an opening. There's no limitations. I've set a table, whether you bring a bar stool, a high chair, a Barca lounger.
Oh, I love
just
it, a
bring
Barca
up
lounger.
Bring it up, come to the table and talk about it.
One last question.
Yes.
I understand that you were good friends with Prince,
Mm-hmm.
and I know you love music.
Yes, I do.
Give us a little inside info about Prince.
Well, there's so much.
The real person, just a tidbit.
Oh my gosh. So before the public knew that I was probably going to be leaving the Today Show, and I'd been talking with him about it, he basically said, why are you waiting for someone else to do this? Do this yourself. And he was all about pushing me and seeing a side of me that I didn't know existed. So when I was pulling this talk show together, you know, at the time I was doing the Today Show, MSNBC, Deadline Crime, hosting the show Sister Wives, Bear Grylls, and the 4th of July, all of these different shows. And he was always reminding me, like, look at all the people that you're connecting with, the different walks of life. You know, black women are walking up saying yes, and then white women are like, that's my best friend. Yeah. He's like, look at how you're able to reach so many different people. And I didn't really know that, but that's exactly what he did in his music. You know, I've gone to his concerts, and you look out, and there are people from all different walks of life and all age groups, and they're in that one place to hear that one person. And it's a blessing to be able to have fans or have people support you that are so different. And so he really helped me focus in on that, to realize that I'm not an extraordinary person, but I've had an extraordinary journey. And if I open that up, then people will come. And that, just like with Prince, I mean, he was bullied in school. He's, you know, in his mind, not this extraordinary person. He's short, which he definitely did not like people to comment on. He'd laugh it off. He'd be like, listen, I'm not that short. Like, yes, you are. But, you know, he realized that he had this place, and it was his destiny. And so he really poured a lot of confidence in me that I didn't have. So no, our friendship and our love was very real, and I can only hope that I make him proud.
Absolutely. And you are an extraordinary person,
Thank you. Thank
by
you.
the way.
You're very kind.
Can't wait for the new
that.
show, September 9th, Monday, K2. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Really
Janine.
appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Oh, it's lovely meeting you.